The ancient prophecy of Ragnarok is an important story from Norse mythology that foretells a great battle where many powerful Norse gods will perish. This prophecy is often called the Twilight of the Gods. It marks the tragic end of the Viking pantheon. In this video, we will dive into the said apocalypse, which is the doom of Odin, Thor, Loki, and all of the Norse deities. With that said, let's get started. The prophecy of Ragnarok begins with a series of signs that warn of the end times. Although these signs are not immediate, they will gradually build up till both gods and humans realize that the final battle is approaching. This is when the great and devastating Fimbulwinter will happen. The winter will last for 3 years without a break for summer in between. Because of this winter, the world will be thrown into severe famine and misery. Crops will fail, food will become scarce, and people will turn on one another in desperation. Wars and conflicts will be more frequent among humans, further tearing apart societies and bringing chaos to the world. The bonds between people and loyalty will break down, and treachery will become rampant. Families will turn against each other, and friends will betray one another, signaling that the world has lost its sense of right and wrong. After this, 2 monstrous creatures will come to wreak havoc on the cosmos. For eons, Skoll has been chasing the sun, and Hati has been chasing the moon. At Ragnarok, these wolves will finally succeed in devouring the sun and the moon, plunging the world into darkness. With the sun and moon destroyed, the sky will go black, and the stars will disappear, leaving the world in an unimaginable darkness. Several imprisoned figures in Norse mythology will be released during this period. Among the most dangerous of these is Fenrir, the gigantic wolf who was bound by the gods in magical chains because of the threat he posed to them. Fenrir is the son of the trickster god Loki, and as Ragnarok approaches, his chains will shatter, and he will be free to seek his revenge on the gods. Loki himself will break free from his chains too, and rally an army of giants and the dead from hell, leading them into battle against the gods. He had been bound to a rock as punishment for causing the death of Balder, the beloved son of Odin. Meanwhile, the serpent Jormungandr, also known as the Midgard serpent, will rise from the ocean, causing massive tidal waves that will flood the earth. With the sun and moon devoured and the world in darkness, the forces of chaos and destruction, led by Loki, Fenrir, and Jormungandr, will march toward Vigrid, the site of the final battle. There, the gods of Asgard, led by Odin, will also come to fight. Odin will ride into battle on his 8-legged horse Sleipnir, accompanied by his most trusted warriors, the Einherjar, who are the souls of fallen heroes gathered in Valhalla to fight at the end of the world. Despite Odin's wisdom and strength, the prophecy declares that Fenrir will defeat him. The wolf will swallow Odin whole, killing him in the process. However, Odin's death will not go unavenged. His son Vidar, the god of vengeance, will step forward to take on Fenrir. Vidar, who has been preparing for this moment, will tear apart the wolf's jaws with his bare hands, avenging his father's death. At the same time, Thor, the god of thunder, will face his greatest foe, the Midgard serpent, Jormungandr. Thor will manage to slay the serpent with his mighty hammer Mjolnir, but in doing so, he will be poisoned by Jormungandr's venom. Thor will take 9 steps after the battle, but he will collapse and die from the poison. Meanwhile, Loki will confront his old foe Heimdall, the watchman of the gods. Both Loki and Heimdall will kill each other in this fierce fight, marking the end of their long-standing rivalry. As the battles rage on, the fire giant Surtur, who has been waiting at the edge of the world in Muspelheim, will make his move. Surtur will use his flaming sword to set the world on fire. The flames will consume everything, including the forests, mountains, and even the ocean. The world will burn, and nothing will escape the destruction. The fire from Surtur's sword will cause the sky to collapse, and the earth will be swallowed by the sea. The flames and floods will wipe out all life, leaving the world in ruins. Despite the overwhelming destruction, the prophecy of Ragnarok brings hope of a new life. In the aftermath of the battle and the flames, a new world is foretold to rise from the sea. This new world will be green and fertile, filled with life and renewal. 2 human survivors, Lif and Lifthrasir, will emerge from the shelter they found in Yggdrasil, the World Tree. They will repopulate the earth with their descendants, ensuring that humanity lives on. Some gods are also said to have survived Ragnarok, or been reborn in a new form. The sun, which was devoured by the wolf skull, will be replaced by her daughter, who will shine in the sky and bring warmth and light to the new world. Life will begin anew, and the world will be fresh and pure, untainted by the chaos and destruction of the past. Ragnarok is not just a story about the end of the world. It is also a tale of rebirth. The prophecy reflects the Norse belief in the continuous nature of time and existence. The destruction of the old world will make way for the creation of a new one, and life continues in an eternal cycle of death and renewal. The gods know that Ragnarok is coming, but they cannot stop it. They are said to be prepared to face their fates with courage and determination, knowing that they will die, but also understanding that their deaths are part of what will put the universe in order. Has this prophecy begun? As we observe the world today, it's easy to see similarities with the prophecy. Climate change, natural disasters becoming more frequent, and the ongoing wars in some parts of our world look like the modern-day versions of some events described in Ragnarok. The prophecy's influence is everywhere in modern culture. Movies, TV shows, and books have been inspired by Ragnarok to create epic, world-ending stories. Marvel's Thor movie is a good example of these stories. It features its own take on Ragnarok, with Asgard's destruction being a central theme in Thor Ragnarok. While the storyline in the movie does not really capture the original myth, it shows just how the prophecy of Ragnarok has influenced our modern world. Beyond Hollywood, the concept of Ragnarok has also influenced countless fantasy stories, video games, and even philosophical discussions about the nature of existence. But beyond this, there's a deeper question about whether these myths hold any real truth. Do prophecies like Ragnarok tell us something about the human condition? Is the idea of an inevitable end something we carry with us, no matter what era we live in? Some might argue that these stories are reflections of the fears we've always had of death, change, or the unknown. But others might say that the signs of Ragnarok have already begun. Do you think this prophecy holds some truth and the signs have begun? If you enjoyed this video, follow us for more content on ancient myths and legends you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.